We're now going to look at 4 common mistakes that students often make in the IELTS listening test. And we're doing this so that you can avoid making these mistakes too. Okay, let's jump right into common mistake number 1, which is listening blind. In the IELTS listening test, you are given some time to look over the instructions, questions and any other information you were given on your test sheet before the audio is played to you. It's really important that you spend some time looking at all this information. We do this for a good reason. By reading through the questions and instructions given to you, you can start to build up a picture of what the audio is you are about to hear. You can even start to think about possible important information in the audio, so you'll be much more prepared to listen with focus. The key point here is to check the information in front of you first. I'll highlight this mistake by looking at an example here and showing you how we won't listen blind. On this IELTS listening question sheet, I will start at the very top, just as you should, and look over the key information. So the title is Travel Safe Insurance PLC, and the department is Motor Insurance. Now, before the audio is even played to me, I can start building a picture up of what the recording may be. Once I've looked at this key information, I'll start scanning for any other key details I can see. In the client details on this question, I can see a name, Elizabeth, and a date of birth, and some other personal information. I'm starting to think that the audio may be based around a phone call from this lady called Elizabeth. It could be that she's going to be asking for insurance on her car. I'm definitely more prepared by looking over this information than if I were to listen blind to the audio and then look at the questions. You should definitely make sure that you look carefully at all the information given to you before listening to the audio. So let's go to mistake number 2, which is not predicting answers. More specific than trying to predict and think about the main topic is predicting answers. You'll need to look very carefully at the questions given to you. What type of information could fit for these answers? Again, by predicting possible answers and information I need to think about, I'm more prepared to listen to the recording. Let's take a look at another example to show how we can predict answers. So here's a small table with 2 cities labelled, Sheffield and Liverpool, and we have some key information underneath. Question 11 in the population column is population of. For Sheffield it is blank, and Liverpool we have the figure of 400,000. I know that I need to listen carefully for a number that indicates the population of Sheffield. For the missing information about Liverpool in industry, we can see mostly sector. Now, sector is a key word that I might listen to see if it is repeated in the audio. I can also be thinking about other possible industries, such as tourism, travel, and shopping. These are all keywords that I can look out for in the audio to help me answer. And I'm making predictions on possible answers too. Let's move on to mistake number 3, which is the word count. Now, it's very important that you read the instructions very carefully. Some questions, such as the short answer question, have a very strict guideline on word count. If you go over this word count, you will not score any marks for that question. And here is our final mistake, mistake number 4, which is leaving answers blank. I commonly see that students don't complete all the questions and write answers for everything that they can. Now, in the IELTS listening test, you do not lose marks for an incorrect answer. Therefore, you should try and answer all questions, guessing where possible. Time management is key to allow yourself some time to quickly scan over your answers and fill in and guess other possible answers where possible. So that brings us to the end of our common mistakes in IELTS listening. I hope that you can apply some of these ideas in your IELTS listening practice tests, which are coming up next.